What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Blackwater. Today's video is actually pretty cool. I've got a little spot that my in-laws own, and my brother-in-law's kind of taken over it a little bit, and I've always wanted to hunt it. Passing by there, I've always seen some pretty good bucks running through that area. Nobody really hunts it, but if you guys followed me before we started doing YouTube, years ago on Facebook, I wrote an article for Outdoor Hub about setting up feeders and stuff like that, and the main point of the article was mineral blocks, or the scented deer blocks, and how they have the waxy substance on them. You know, it works better if you break them up prior to just leaving them out there, that the deer end up finding them faster. Well, I wrote that article years ago, had some great pictures out there from it, but never did really hunt that place. I talked to my brother-in-law yesterday, and he told me, kind of gave me the thumbs up for going and making a setup there and trying to see if I can't put something together. So we're going to do that today. There's actually two really cool parts about this video that I think you guys will enjoy. One, my buddy Mike, you guys know him as Mullet Man. He introduced me to this company called Basemap, and it's kind of like Onyx that I've used, but he told me it's even better. So that's the first thing we're going to do today. Is I have not walked around this property over here enough to know exactly where would be a good spot to set up a stand at, or to hunt from in general. So the first part of that is we're going to get on this Basemap program, find the property, and just like I used to write in those articles that you guys read, we're going to start out by looking for some good travel corridors, maybe find a pinch point where, you know, the deer are going from point A to point B, and the land just kind of, the contours of the land just kind of pinch it down to almost, not quite an exact, but almost an exact location where you can pretty much guarantee yourself deer are going to walk through this area. So we find that on the Basemap app first, and then we're going to jump into the actual woods, follow our trail, figure out where that pinch point actually is, and then see if we can see some sign. If we see some sign in there, we'll know we're in the right area, and we're going to set up a camera and do a few things like that to see if we can't make that happen. The second cool part about this video is that basically you guys know how it is. Being from Texas, we get bashed constantly about not being good hunters. We're just the rednecks that go sit over bait piles, corn feeders, whatever it is, and shoot pets. I'm going to try to join my brothers from the Midwest and up north on this video, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the pinch point on the mapping system, just like I was on public land. Basically, it's the same to me because I haven't done enough on this property. I've been on public land more than I've been on this property. So we're going to find the pinch points, find some signs, set up our camera. I'm not going to put out any bait. I refuse to put out any bait on this one. I want to do this just like the guys up north say that guys in Texas could not do. So here it is. You got your chance to prove me wrong, see if I'm a bad hunter or not. But today we're going to get it all set up. I went to Cabela's and bought a wireless trail camera that will send pictures back and forth to me, because you guys know I'm not in town all the time. I can't run out there every day and check a camera. So we're going to use this new software so it'll send pictures to me. I'm also going to set up a mock scrape. Duh, way too early. But like I said, I'm not in town a lot. I'm just going to try to set one up, see if I can keep it fresh while I'm in town, see if we can't get a nice buck on camera. If I do, I'm going to figure out a way to sneak in there, knock him down, and prove to everybody up north that us guys here in Texas are good hunters, and we can do it with or without corn. All right, guys, so first things first, we got to figure out the spot that we want to get to. So we're going to open up this Basemap app, and it's got us located kind of right where we are in this field. I'm going to start looking for pinch points. I see a really good creek running through here, so this is telling me that we're going north right here. So this is this brush line next to us. So it looks like there's a really good creek back there. I can see the neighbor's fence line on the other side of the creek, which from this map looks to be probably 250, 300 yards through there. See where the water comes under the road there. I'm guessing that this creek is going to be the natural travel corridor, so I'm just going to look for a pinch point in this area. Now my brother-in-law, he has his set up way up here, around that tank. So I'm not going to get on his area. He's looking for deer coming from this side over here. I'm going to try to focus on something coming off this other side. So the green dot right there is where we're at. I'm going to come in here and say that little green field right there coming off that creek, especially when the rut comes. There's actually some decent looking grass in there. Especially when the rut comes, I imagine there's going to be some stuff coming out of there. You got a good turn coming out of that road bed. You know you're going to have a fence right here. I imagine there's some spots where it gets washed out here along the creek. So I'm going to say getting right down in there, there's a good trail I can see on the map coming through there. Another good trail area right there. There's a pretty good pinch point right there, coming off that creek into that little slough. That's actually just straight across from us right now. I'm actually probably going to say that if we can get something right in here to this greener area, or if we get down in there and find a better looking zone, that we're going to be pretty good, especially coming off out from underneath this area right here where the deer are going to be crossing. Anyways, let's go in there, check out those two areas right there, see what we can come up with. All right, before we jump down in there, we got to have our essentials to make this work. So we went ahead and got the SpyPoint Link Micro cellular trail camera. This is what we're going to use to send the pictures to our phone. We got the batteries and the SD card that do not come with it. We picked those up. If you're using those type of cameras, get the lithium batteries. They will last much longer for you. And then for our scrape, our mock scrape that we're going to do, we got the whitetail, Code Blue whitetail doe and estrus. That's what we're going to use to set up our mock scrape. Hopefully that's going to work out. Like I said, I know it's way too early to do that right now. Crap, it's still 95 degrees. But if we do it, if we start it now and keep it fresh, there's a chance we might get one of these big boys to sneak in there when we have time one day to get in here with our bow. Alright guys, we got the camera activated. We got our strap to hang it on the tree. And we got the Code Blue. I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the package so I'm not accidentally leaving any trash in the woods. And then we're going to head in there, find our spot on Basemap, and get this bad boy set up. It is thick in here. I don't have a clue how I will ever be able to sneak in here quietly in the morning. Might just be an afternoon spot or something, I don't know. Or I'm going to have to get in here real early in the morning, but everything in here is dead. Super thick, super hilly terrain, so good chance for me to bust my butt. But the place I want to get is way back there, so we're just going to keep on pushing and see if we can find some deer sign. Really nice little creek bottom. Obviously no water in it, but I bet this place is covered up in freaking pigs. So it's probably a good thing I'm not putting any bait out, because I do not want to deal with that. Alright, well this little creek down here is completely void of water. There's not a speck. But I found some definite deer tracks. I found some really big cervid tracks. I won't tell you guys what those are unless we end up actually seeing one. But I've also found some hog tracks. There's no cattle on this place, so I don't have to worry about cattle tracks, but they are using this. They're definitely using this dry creek bed, and it's dry enough that you can actually take your boot and turn it over. So they're working in here pretty decently. Both sides of this embankment is just beautiful. No real underbrush, kind of taller trees, super shady in here. Great bedding area. So early morning, like I said, might not be great unless they're bedding somewhere else and working through here to bed midday, which would be awesome if this was a midday bedding area, because we would get a giant if that was the case. But that's kind of the only plan we have the ability to go with, because I can't do many evening hunts with the wife and kids coming home after school and stuff like that. So I'm gonna look for a little bit longer and see if I don't find anything right in here that says, yeah, this is where we should set up. All right, look guys, I found it. This is what I was trying to tell y'all about with the Basemap app earlier. This is that spot where I said look like it might be a good pinch point, and it is. It is the perfect pinch point. We've got a trail, like a little branch of the creek that's made just a little ditch going this direction right here, and it ties back into the main creek down here, which then heads that way. So you almost have like a little three-way split right here. That's exactly what you're looking for. Makes the deer feel comfortable, gives them two different paths on different winds, so they're not having to completely change their travel corridor. They can use the same path up to a certain point and then split off depending on, you know, which way that wind's coming in on them. So this is the ideal setup. Good looking bedding area back there, good looking bedding area back here, and we're right at the trailhead of these three trails, making a perfect pinch point. This is where we're going to put the camera and the scrape. So when you guys are asking, like, what are they going to eat out here if you're not putting out corn? How are you going to get them? This stuff right here is called greenbrier. It's like ice cream to whitetails, and it is all in here. So we're going to be in luck for a food source. The water's a little far down back behind us on my brother-in-law's area, but there's also water across the road here. So, you know, I mean, they can go a long ways without water. So I'm not too concerned about that right now. Whitetail can go a long time without a drink of water. Okay, now we just got to figure out where to make our mock scrape and where to put our camera, in addition to where in the world I'm gonna freaking sit in this thick jungle and be able to get a shot this direction. I see a really cool looking tree over there, but I can assure you in the dark, I'm not climbing in or climbing out of that big tree in the middle of all this brush. So we got to come up with a better plan than that. All right, so I think I'm gonna use this tree right here to strap my camera to, and then I'm just gonna use this small tree right here, and I'll make my scrape right there on the bottom. That'll give it about, an 8-yard shot for the camera. So my only problem here with this property is the way it lays out, is that if we have a decent north wind, my scent's gonna push right down this creek bed and I will be in big trouble. So gonna have to be real particular on the days that we actually come down here and hunt this. But as long as we're on in here, who cares? We get our stuff set up, we try to get the pictures we're looking for. Once we do, we figure out what day the best wind will be, get in here, try to get a kill. Plan is set up back here on this hill somewhere, let them get down here coming through this creek bank and find me a good shot. It's so thick in there, as long as I'm not jacking around, moving, just being still, I think I can get drawn and get a shot before they get away. All right, y'all, so we got the green light in the middle of the camera. I'll flip that around in a second and show you. But that means that she's ready to go. She's connected to the wireless. So from this point forward, any pictures taken should be transmitted back to my cell phone. Pretty freaking cool that we have the technology to do that nowadays. And hopefully a little bit of this scent will begin to bring the big boy in. I'm gonna clear me a little circle out right underneath here. Haven't really seen any rub sign or obviously any scrape sign already, but I'm gonna make the first one. Got a decent size height little licking branch right here for them, so I'm gonna make them the first scrape and see if that doesn't entice somebody to come down here and let us get a picture of them. Take our code blue, doing the estrus. Strong. Smells like the old pee test. Now we're just gonna drip a little bit in our area, just like that. All right, boys and girls, we got the camera set up at the trailhead of the pinch point. We got the scrape tree Our licking tree picked out, mock scrape made, doe ester scent put in there, wind blowing in a pretty good direction right now to send it the way we want it. Now we just sit back and wait. Well, just made it back to the truck. It is still a whopping 98 degrees here in Central Texas. This is the first time I put on jeans this summer, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I thought eating the coyotes and the fox and the bobcats and all that, I'd at least get a couple parasites and lose a few pounds. No, that was not the case. I apparently have gained a few, and this button is, let's just say, even if it wasn't seasoned, I could push kind of hard and kill a deer with the button off front of this pair of blue jeans right now. So when I was walking out of the woods, I literally felt like one of the women of Walmart that should not be wearing the stretchy pants. That's exactly how I felt walking out. Unfortunately, these blue jeans are not stretchy at all, and so I am tight, baby. I don't know how I plan on getting myself out of these. I might have to wait for Lindsay to get home to hook me up to the back of the truck, tie a toe strap around my britches or something and give it a little gas and yank me on out of there. But anyways, we're going to slip on out of here. We're going to give it a few days and just see what happens. This is a little different, you know. I'm used to having the corn. I'm used to having the feeder. I'm used to setting stuff up and within a day or two having stuff on camera and knowing exactly what I've got there and when it's coming in and the whole 9 yards. And I do not have that benefit right now. So that is definitely an initial kudos point to you guys up north and in the Midwest, you know, for not being able to have that feeder out there to know an exact spot that they're coming to, and set your stuff up on that. This is actually, it's very cool to me. I love doing this. I love challenging myself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope y'all will stick this through with me and see if we're not able to do it the way that they say we are not able to do it here in the state of Texas. So if you guys like this, give me a thumbs up. Hey, we jumped 50 subscribers last night. Y'all keep it rolling. You don't know how bad I want to take one of you guys hunting for free on one of our properties. An awesome freaking hunt. And I want to see you guys smile when you lay down one of the trophies of a lifetime. Click subscribe. Tell your friends to click subscribe. Y'all come hunt with me. Thanks again. And as always, we'll see you guys again tomorrow on another episode of Blackwater.